My name is Albert, and I'm at Pearson Centre, a long-term residential care place, and it's meant for various disabilities. I had polio when I was 12. I'm now 70. And in 2003, my breathing suddenly started to fail drastically, so I went in to the hospital, and then I got transferred here in February 2004, so I've been here about a little over 4 years. I'm a great fan of different kinds of music. I draw the line at rap, but anyway, we do appreciate it because we have many occasions where orchestras come and perform for us, like the Vancouver Symphony. It's a connection with the outside world, and it's peaceful. It gives them peace.
Good morning, everybody. Very nice to see you here. My name is David Lemon, and I'm here with the Artsway organization. And we're very pleased to bring you a wonderful concert today with friends of ours who've been here many times in different groups. And there's a special group formed today to do a program that is going to include music from Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. So let me first introduce our players. I'm David Lemon, and I'm the Artistic and Executive Director of HeathArts Society. In the first year of our program, we did 200 events, and in this, our third year, we'll do over 1,000, and there's no reason why it shouldn't continue to grow, because we're still in far fewer sites than we would like to be. What motivated me to create this project was the experience that I had, that so many people are having, in fact, more or less everybody will have, of seeing elderly friends and my parents go through end of life in long-term care. And it occurred to me that so much more needed to be provided to people that would normalize their life, that we shouldn't be thinking in terms of elders and others who are isolated in care as somehow only a group of symptoms to be treated, but as people who are exactly like we are, but haven't the access to the stimulation and the enjoyment that we have in our ordinary engagement in life. And I was talking to some people in the hospital community who were organizing for artworks, paintings, to be placed in long-term care, and it occurred to me then that music, which is so active and so engaging and so personally involving, and which has given me pleasure all my life, is something that we should be looking to provide. Just being able to go out is a wonderful thing to be able to do, to be able to get out of your chair, walk to your car, drive to the theatre, park your car, walk into the theatre and sit in your seat. All these things, those are gifts. And then to hear great music being played really well. So if you can't do that, then a huge amount of life, and not only musical life, is lost to you. For elders, they have often lost so much by the time they get into long-term care. They've lost their homes, they've often lost a beloved spouse, their families are more inaccessible, they have lost their strength, they've lost almost everything that we think of that makes us individuals. And so a couple of concerts for 45 minutes each, every month, is not really enough. There could be so much more. And I think we're, as a generation, and I'm an early boomer, we're going to have to look for ways to rethink the process of aging in society in the same way that we have made changes throughout our lives to the culture. So let me first introduce our players. We have Kenneth Broadway, piano, Rebecca Whitling, violin, Ariel Barnes, cello, and Mark McGregor, flute.
My name's Rebecca Whitling, and I play violin in the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, as well as the CBC Radio Orchestra, and my new music group, Standing Wave, and many other groups in town.
My name is Ariel Barnes. I play cello with the Vancouver Opera Orchestra and the CBC Radio Orchestra, and I do some work with the Vancouver Symphony, and I have a string trio known as Trio Accord. And I also do studio work and freelance about town, yes.
I think all of us have played these kinds of concerts for the Arts Way organization in various facilities around the city. And going to each concert, you sort of are thinking about the music you're going to play and being prepared for the program and what you're going to wear and stuff like that. And when you get there, it is always almost overwhelming, the response. And people are just so reactive and so into it. And it really gives you a new perspective on the music you're playing. And especially in this case, playing the Beethoven, which is normally an experience you're playing in a huge concert hall with 60 other people on stage and for, a full audience of people in a very formal setting. And this just makes this chamber music reduction makes the whole experience much more immediate and sort of kinetic.
Playing this reduction of Beethoven 6 at 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning is a bit of a daunting task. I know that both Rebecca and I were definitely playing concerts last night, and it's hard to wind down. You're up late at night, and knowing that you have to play a show, actually quite a challenging piece first thing in the morning, is interesting. It's great fun to play a work we know so well and have heard for most of our lives in this really intimate setting.
Just yesterday we played this program in a smaller facility, and I think none of us really knew what it would feel like to perform this music in this format, since it was the first time we'd actually even played through it. And it was quite awesome at the end. There were a few people in tears, and just the gratitude of, one woman came up and said that she had been there with her mother, and her mother was, overwhelmed to the point of wanting to sing along at some points and everything. And so, you realize just how deeply it touches people, this kind of music.
Playing music is quite an intangible form of making a living. Just like a visual artist, there can be a lot of struggle involved, but with music it sort of just exists in time. There's nothing that you can really grasp onto. So what is tangible is that exchange of energy, or that exchange of appreciation. You offer and people return, and it's very beautiful.
You can see it in people's eyes, and people are just so excited to come and tell you that, that's the first time I've heard that piece in 20 years, or I haven't thought of that composer in so long. It's so beautiful to hear the violin. I don't know, it's just an immediate connection with people that you have.
We have had the most wonderful responses to these concerts. There have been non-verbal people who have suddenly called out, bravo, or people who are apparently almost comatose, who have opened their eyes and responded and smiled. And then there are people who are still thoroughly verbal, and they've expressed their pleasure in a number of different ways. And we have, in a sense, a huge advantage because these rooms are relatively small, and the audiences number between 20 and 50. So we're actually replicating a way that music was performed before the large formal concert hall became the place that everybody assumes you go to hear live music. So the impact of this music is actually tremendous. And the level of communication with the audience is all the more intense.
I'm Jerry Cook. I'm disabled in a wheelchair. I've studied music, and so I really appreciate the fact that the members of the VSO came here to give us this nice treat. Day-to-day life for me is basically sitting on my computer or watching TV. And if I do get to hear good music, it's usually with the CD, until I'm largely alone. But this was not alone. I was with other people and actual live musicians, until I got a real feeling of being included, being recognized as a real person. And I really appreciated that. So I was really glad to be here, to be included, It was a great experience for me.